Well, good afternoon, guys, and welcome back. I know I haven't been updating and making videos as often here recently. Life's been a little chaotic for us at the home front, but I'm back in the garage. I've never not been in the garage, I guess we'll say, but I'm back in the garage. So you'll notice Spike has the gold wheels on it. And that's because the 4Runner got sold. There she goes with the gray fuel wheels on it. It was just something that had to be done right now. I mean, the market's crazy. The price was right. We drove the car for 6 years and put 60,000 miles on it, and we got all but $4,000 what we had into it. So I mean, why would you not sell it? You know, you can't even rent a car for that. It's less than $100 a month for ownership, which is just absolutely asinine. So the plan all along has been to build Spike into more of the adventure vehicle anyway. This is going to be kind of the dedicated, I don't even know, everything rig, I guess, because ultimately it's going to get a set of tons and 40s and some craziness. But for now, it's going to be my daily. So Whitney's driving the Tundra, and I'm going to drive this until we decide on what to do for another car for her, me, or whoever, whatever, till we have another more reliable unit. But until then, the 195,000 mile Tacoma that we bought for $1,000 is it. So, but when I did the lift on this one, the lower control arm caster camber bolts are seized up in there. They're seized in the lower arms. Was not able to align it properly. We set the toe, but it rides and handles like crap, total crap. It's all over the road. So it wasn't quite as pronounced with the narrower tires on it, on the gray wheels, but with the gold wheels and the 285, you know, the wider width tire, it's real bad. So tonight, I'm going to see if I can swap out those lower control arms in the bushings. So we're going to have to get in there. We're going to have to cut the existing ones out, take the whole arm out, put a new arm in, new hardware in, and see how this goes, I guess. But I've also got a set of spark plugs for it, because again, it's got, you know, close to 200,000 miles. I don't have any maintenance history on it. When we bought it, the guy was kind of, you know, not too keen, I guess. He wasn't too happy at that point when he was getting rid of it. So I didn't want to add insult to injury and, you know, waste a bunch of time asking for maintenance records. I just assumed I'm going to go ahead and go through it and try to get it up to snuff. But if you look close, notice my spray painted fender and the rest of the body. So it did look like, I mean, I'm pretty sure this was kind of the hunting rig. It looked like it had been driven through pine brush for the last 12 years or whatever. 14 years, I guess it's 14 years old. And it looked like it had been just driven right through the middle of the pine trees. There's scratches and scrapes all down both sides of it. So yesterday, actually got home a couple hours before, earlier than I had intended on being home. So I ended up running a buffer over it. And it's crazy how much of it polished out. Now, obviously, this is no show vehicle. I don't intend for it to, you know, it's not going to go win any awards or anything. You know, it's not headed to Beacom or Barrett Jackson. But I just thought, you know, if I can make it look a little bit better, as I am going to daily drive it, it doesn't look like I'm driving a total clunker back and forth to work and stuff. So, I mean, we didn't fix any of the dents any more than we have, you know, already. They're still there in the back. But just to knock the main scuzz off it was kind of cool. So we did that. And, yeah, we give it a little tune-up and get these control arms replaced so that we can actually get a good alignment on it, and makes a pretty nice daily. AC works, blows cold. The power is fairly decent. Even with the 35s on it, it doesn't feel super bad. So this is it. All right, so we got the truck supported by jack stands, but I keep a jack under there just in case. Taken the nut off here, which is 19 millimeter, and I've taken the bolt out of here, which is also 19 millimeter head. I'm gonna grab a pipe wrench or something. I'm gonna attempt to move these. They tried supposedly when they did the alignment. I mean, if I could get them to move, I don't have to do anything else, but they couldn't get them to move. However, they don't show any signs of being heated up. So I might try, see if I can get them to heat up and move, because boy, if I get them to move, that would be super awesome. And then I wouldn't have to go through the hassle of replacing the lower control arms and the hardware. So first we're gonna do that, but ultimately I think what I'm gonna end up having to do is cut between the arm and the bushing, both sides, get the arm out of there, put the new arm in, new hardware. So let's see how it goes, I guess. So, utilizing a Sawzall and a cutoff wheel, I've gotten that one cut, and I'm part way into this one. You can kind of see the groove there. And the front one's cut. And I made a mark on this one. You can see the shiny. It's cutting really slow. The heat didn't work, so I'm burning through Sawzall blades fast. And yeah, looks like this is gonna be my life for a while. All right, and just that easy according to YouTube, but in real life, an hour and a half later, just to cut those out, because those adjusters, I don't know, they must be hardened or something. I burnt through a pile of no less than 8 new Sawzall blades, DeWalt and Milwaukee. I don't know, is there a better Sawzall blade out there? Let me know in the comments. Somebody help me out here. But I mean, you can't really plasma cut them or something. I don't want to risk damaging the pockets with the adjusters and stuff. So I mean, that's kind of the only way you can do it. Whew, man, hour and a half later, hour and a half of my life I'm never gonna get back. Oh, but wait, there's more. I gotta do the other side. All right, so the aftermarket control arms I got. You got to swap over this lower ball joint plate. I've just left it loose currently, but make sure you have it in the right orientation. You can see this steering stop needs to hit that boss there on the side of it. So we've got that just loosely installed. I'll final tighten it once this plate's torqued up and I can get a gun on it or whatever. So this is the aftermarket camber caster hardware. The bolts are different sizes, both in length and in diameter. So you need to make sure you get them in the right position. And it's fairly easy. So there is a plastic sleeve that's going to go in this, which is the forward. And then the larger bolt diameter slides into that. So I'm going to install them so that the nuts face inward. Less chance of rust and corrosion, even though they're not going to be on here a super long time. But and I'm going to grease the bolts where they go through the sleeves and all the hardware to make sure that they are serviceable. And when I want to take them out of here, I'll be able to do so. So yeah. Just going to get this stuff bolted back into place, and then we're going to give it our best eyeball alignment and get an appointment at the alignment shop just as soon as we can. So that ends that project for tonight. Sometimes when you buy parts, you don't get the right stuff. So the CV boot hits the lower control arm. This lower control arm pocket, although it looks very similar to the one on the other arm, it's not. I don't know what's different about it. It's cut different, what's going on. But it's hitting that CV boot, and it wasn't with the original arm. Also, where the strut mounts into the arm, the pocket is too wide. It allows the strut to move fore and aft, front and back, even when tight, so to speak. So, yeah, lovely. And of course this happens when we've already sold our extra car, right? I mean, this was an extra car. Had we still had another car around, it'd be fine. But now that I'm relying on this to get me to work tomorrow, I got this problem. Don't you love it? So I reached out to the seller. It's all eBay parts because I didn't want to put a ton of money into it because I got big axles and big tires and big plans. And this was just a temporary patch to get me by. That's now got me hung up, sitting on jack stands and waiting for more parts. If I had everything to put the 1 tons in, this would be like the straw that broke the camel's back, and I just get the plasma out and start cutting, but I'm not quite there yet. I got a few more things I need to get, and we'll have to save it for another day, unfortunately.